The revolt of Absalom had been crushed, but the kingdom of Israel was left shattered in its wake. The blood of civil war still stained the hills of Ephraim, and the fragile bond between the tribes hung by a thread. It was in this moment of weakness that a worthless man saw his opportunity. Sheba, son of Bichri, a Benjaminite, lifted a trumpet to his lips and sounded a blast that would echo across the land. "We have no share in David," he declared, and with those words, the men of Israel turned their backs on the king and followed Sheba into rebellion. The kingdom, so recently reunited, was torn apart once more. King David, weary from one war, now faced another. He summoned his commander Joab and gave him an urgent charge. "Pursue Sheba, son of Bichri, before he does us more harm than Absalom ever did." And so Joab gathered the mighty men of Israel and set out in relentless pursuit. Through the territories of the northern tribes they marched, tracking Sheba's trail as it wound deeper and deeper into the highlands. Sheba fled north, seeking refuge behind the walls of a fortified city. Abel, Beth, Maacah, an ancient seat of wisdom, renowned throughout Israel as a place where disputes were settled and counsel was sought. But Joab would not be deterred by walls or reputation. His army encircled the city and began to build a siege ramp against its outer fortifications. The thunder of timber and earth shook the ground as the ramp rose higher. Soldiers battered the walls with brutal force. Inside the city, the people watched in terror as cracks spread through the ancient stones. Women clutched their children, elders bowed their heads in prayer. Abel, Beth, Maacah, the city of peace, was about to be destroyed. Then, from the top of the wall, a voice rang out above the chaos, clear, commanding, unafraid. A wise woman of the city called down to the army below, demanding to speak with Joab himself. "Listen," she cried, "listen. Tell Joab to come here so I may speak to him." And Joab came forward. The woman looked down upon the general whose army threatened to reduce her home to rubble. She spoke with the authority of ancient tradition. "In the old days," she said, "they used to say, 'Seek counsel at Abel,' and that settled the matter. We are among the peaceful and faithful in Israel. You seek to destroy a city that is a mother in Israel. Why would you swallow up the Lord's inheritance?" Her words struck Joab like a blade. He knew the weight of what she said. To destroy Abel Beth Maacah would be to extinguish a beacon of wisdom and faithfulness, to commit a grievous sin against God's own people. Joab answered her plainly, "Far be it from me to swallow up or destroy. That is not my purpose. A man named Sheba, son of Bichri, has lifted his hand against King David. Give me him alone, and I will withdraw from the city." The wise woman did not hesitate. "His head shall be thrown to you over the wall," she declared. With that single promise, the fate of the city and the rebellion was sealed. She descended from the wall and went to the people with her counsel. She spoke with such wisdom and conviction that the city listened. They understood what must be done to save every man, woman, and child within those walls. The people acted swiftly. Sheba, son of Bichri, who had torn a kingdom apart with a single blast of his trumpet, met his end, not on a battlefield, but by the judgment of a city that chose life over destruction. His head was cast over the wall to Joab. The general looked upon it, and without a word, he lifted his own trumpet to his lips and sounded the retreat. The siege was over. The army withdrew, and every soldier returned to his home. The walls of Abel Beth Maacah, battered but unbroken, stood in silence as the dust settled. The city had been saved, not by sword or spear, not by military might, but by the wisdom of one woman who dared to speak when all others trembled. Scripture tells us that wisdom is better than weapons of war. On that day, in that ancient city, one unnamed woman proved it so. Her name is lost to history, but her legacy endures, a testament that courage, wedded to wisdom, can turn back the tide of destruction and preserve the inheritance of the Lord.